जी, आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र सिंह जी तोमर, केंद्रीय कृषि एंड फार्मर्स वेलफेयर मिनिस्टर, आदरणीय श्री आरसी फलदू साहब, गुजरात के कृषि और रूरल डेवलपमेंट एंड ट्रांसपोर्ट मिनिस्टर, श्री पूनम चंद जी परमार, एडिशनल चीफ सेक्रेटरी एग्रीकल्चर, फार्मर्स वेलफेयर एंड कोऑपरेशन, मेरे पुराने दोस्त उदयपुर से हमारे कॉलेज के डॉक्टर एन एस राठौर, वाइस चांसलर उदयपुर यूनिवर्सिटी, डॉक्टर आरसी अग्रवाल, डिप्टी डायरेक्टर आईसीआर, वाइस चांसलर जूनागढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी डॉक्टर वीपी चौटाटिया, एंड मेरे अदर फ्रेंड डॉक्टर पीएम चौहान, रजिस्ट्रार जूनागढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी, और जितने भी किसान इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में जुड़े हैं, all the deans of all the various colleges, all the faculty members, all the industry colleagues जो बाकी इंडस्ट्री से भी इसमें जुड़े हैं, और जो भी इनवाइटेड गेस्ट है, मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा जूनागढ़ एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी का कि मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी दी। हमने ऑलरेडी हमारे वाइस चांसलर साहब और कृषि मंत्री जी को सुना, इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ कृषि और एग्रीकल्चर। देखिए, I'll just another 15-20 minutes have been given to me. I'll firstly give the context about the present agriculture and more towards the animal husbandry and how it has done during the COVID. And during the COVID and after that, what are the opportunities and challenges that now this mainly the animal husbandry sector is going to face, and how we can encash and how India can continue to grow on their growth part. One thing all of the listeners will agree that during these 70 days COVID or lockdown, everybody, each and a family member was talking only one subject 70-80% of the time, that was food. I mean, right from breakfast, lunch, dinner, everybody was talking what to buy, what to cook, how to cook, what, etc. And irrespective of other things, whether available under lockdown, I think the only thing which has made this lockdown very successful and people at home is the good, fresh food at very, very reasonable price, without any inflation or without any increased price. I think one side, when we say the COVID warriors, the doctors, paramedical, or the police force, I think our farmers are also COVID warriors, because they have taken pains to grow, harvest, and supply food so that our food security is ensured. And let me tell you, if food has not been available, there would have been riots. People would not stayed at home. And this is also the opportunity given to the food or agriculture sector, because food is only and only grown by our farmers. And we are very lucky and fortunate that I can say 98% of food what India consumes is produced by our Indian farmers only. And so the opportunities are going to come for the agriculture. Now coming to the animal husbandry sector, because whatever you say, last 38 years working with Amul, I know only the animal husbandry sector. So other speakers are going to talk a lot about agriculture. So I'll mainly briefly talk or focus more on the animal husbandry sector. Many know that animal husbandry sector contributes 4.3 to 4.4% to the national GDP, whereas agriculture contribution is degrowing year after year, but it is the animal husbandry sector which contribution to the GDP is growing every year at the rate of around 5%. And today it is around 8 lakh crore. It is the largest crop in India. You put wheat, paddy, pulses all put together. Animal husbandry or dairy is much bigger. Dairy is 8 lakh crore, and the 2 to 3 lakh crore is fisheries and other things, around 11 lakh crore. Today, if you talk about the dairy or animal husbandry, There are around 10 crore families dependent on it. And in India, we are producing around 190 million metric ton of milk, and we are the world's largest producer of milk. We contribute around 21% of the world production. World is growing at less than 2%. India is growing at 5%. Whatever world is growing, 50% growth is given by the India as far as milk is concerned. Now coming to during COVID, the supply chain maintained by the animal husbandry sector and the dairy. If I talk about Amul, I mean, one side we have got 36 lakh milk producers. Out of that, I can say around 90% in Gujarat, 10% outside Gujarat, and the other side more than a billion consumers. I'm very happy to say that not for a single minute this supply chain has stopped during the lockdown. I mean, even if we wanted to stop, we can't stop because milk is such a commodity or such a perishable product that buffaloes or cows, they don't understand what is lockdown. They continue to produce. So our farmers continue to milk them, bring them to the village cooperative society, and the whole supply chain. If I talk about the whole supply chain, Amul, around 18,500 village cooperative society, mainly in Gujarat, 5,000 road milk tankers every day going, collecting milk, bringing milk to around 282 chilling station or dairy plants, further processing it, further transporting the milk to all the bigger cities of India. I mean, Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Kanpur, Lucknow, Pune, everywhere, people were at home, were given full supply of Amul milk. And then all the products around 10,000 distributors. I can the whole supply chain. There are at any given time 50,000 trucks or vans and around 1 lakh supply chain partners. Besides the 36 lakh farmers who are continuing. So this supply chain continued, and I think during the whole, I mean, if I say credit for this goes not to us, I think first is the administration. I tell you on the 25th, when the Honorable Prime Minister announced lockdown, we thought that we have to approach various authorities for the permissions, for the passes. In fact, proactively, we started getting calls whether from Delhi Ministry of Home Affairs or Ministry of Animal Husbandry or Ministry of Animal Husbandry in Gujarat or Chief Secretary, what help we want. And we have to ensure that our supply chain does not stop. And I'm very happy with the everybody cooperation. We continue to pray. And if I give you figure, whereas everybody was talking that there is people are not getting money, people are getting wages, people are not getting able to sell. During this 70 days COVID period, only Amul has given around 10,000 crore rupees cash into the hands of mainly rural Gujarat and other parts of Gujarat, India. And out of that, around 1,200 crore rupees was the extra money because unorganized player or the small dairies, mithai walas, or these ice cream fellow, they stopped procurement of milk because of various logistic problems. And we got requests from the Gujarat government and other state government like Maharashtra, Rajasthan, UP, Punjab, even West Bengal to buy the extra milk. And during this COVID period, we paid besides 1,200 crore rupees extra for the milk which we procured. And it, food, agriculture, dairy was the one thing which ensured that farmers get their source of livelihood continuously. And now, looking to the importance, what is going to happen after COVID as far as the food or agriculture or the dairy is concerned. Let me tell you, this was a good opportunity for accelerating the growth of organized agriculture and business sector. What we have noticed, where everybody was saying decline in demand, we have seen because of hygienic and safety factors, consumer has moved or diverted more towards safe, hygienic, packed, branded but affordable food products. So this is the very good opportunity. I mean, I know a lot of food or agriculture industry people are also here. This is the best time to launch or to introduce packed, safe, hygiene, affordable food, anything. I mean, I'm not thinking about the dairy, whether fruits, vegetable, process, but and also like our honorable prime minister are vocal for local and local for global. Let me tell you, in food, consumer want locally produced, locally processed, locally available, but affordable food. And for that, small entrepreneurs are the best suited. And in the finance ministry announcement, the stimulus, they have given around 10,000 crore rupees to motivate to start around 2 lakh small micro entrepreneurs. This is the best time to launch in food the gully or village or kasbah or city or district brand of food. And consumer is going to prefer, they are going to buy less of unbranded or loose food. So this is what is basically the concern. Now coming, I'll briefly talk about, there are a lot of opportunities and challenges. So let us talk about the opportunities. So like I said, India is growing at 5%. We are already world's largest producer of milk. Besides the largest producer of milk, we are also world largest market also and fastest growing market. So in any agriculture produce, if you produce and consume locally, domestically, that is the best thing for the growers or for the, and moreover that we are surrounded by all the milk deficit countries, whether you take Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Middle East, Indonesia, all are milk deficit. So if farmers continue to grow more or produce more milk, we process more within India. And now coming to the India, like I said, there are 8 lakh crore total crop of milk. Out of that, 2 lakh crore is coming to the organized sector because around 40% milk is retained and consumed in the village, 60% is going to the cities, and out of that, only one third is coming to the organized sector. Whereas milk production is growing at 5%, or so is the, but organized sector, packed sector of dairy sector is going at the rate of 12 to 13. So today, which is 2 lakh crore, by 10 years, it will be around what we estimate is around, with the inflation around 8 lakh to 10 lakh crore is going to be 10 years. So our estimate says that today our production is 190, it will grow to 330 million metric ton in another 10 years. Now, what are the opportunities? What are the, you see, already Honorable Prime Minister announced few things to stimulus in dairy or animal sector like 15,000 crores for dairy infrastructure fund. Let me tell you how it can be utilized to provide livelihood, etc. We know in India, average farmer income as per the government figure is around 6,800 rupees per month. If you see, out of that, 48 is from cultivation, which is growing at the rate of 3.2%. Around 12% is from animal husbandry, which is per annum growth is around 14%. So if we want to double the farmers' income in next 4-5 years, animal husbandry or dairy is the only sector with growth opportunities. Reason is very simple. In India, consumption of dairy, poultry, fish is growing at much faster, 3 or 4 times pace than the normal grains. When in milk till mid 70s, our average consumption was only 110 grams per person. Today it is around 400 grams per person. And the way we are growing, and by 2050, we will be consuming around 850 grams per day. So that is the opportunity. And with the disposal income growing, consumer is shifting more from the carbohydrate to more protein and fat rich diet. which can be given by mainly by animal husbandry. So if that is the opportunity, how to ensure that all our resources, major resources are used to creating livelihood. Now, I give example of this 15,000 crore rupees given for the building dairy infrastructure fund. If we convert this 15,000 crore rupees into the organized sector building supply chain right from chilling bulk milk cooler, supply chain, processing plants and other distribution, we can build processing capacity in the organized sector 50 lakh liters per day. Today, in the organized sector, we have got a processing capacity of around 11 crore liters. We had this in another uh, uh, 2 or 3 years for this. Sorry, this will be around 5 crore liters, 50 million liters with 15,000 crore. We can build. Okay, and for 1 lakh liters coming to the organized sector, there are so livelihood is generated 6,000 families. 5,000 families in the rural India, a 20 liter per day, a farmer is producing and he can sitting in the village around 10 to 12,000 and 1,000 jobs in the supply India. So this 5 crore extra processing capacity through by investing in 15,000 crore, we can create we can create 30 lakh jobs in the rural area. A 30 lakh rural family can be provided source of income. That is the opportunity as far as the animal husbandry sector is concerned. Second is other thing which we are finding is that now export India is today like that we can become dairy to the world if we continue to produce more milk. So now, what are the, I mean, this is okay, but what are the challenges which scientists or the research people or your fraternity which is involved in agriculture and R&D is not? What there? First thing is, I think we have to see the next generation of the farm. See, the younger generation, the educated generation, how to attract them in the agriculture or the dairy. Because we have found that once you get educated, the next generation is not interested to continue in the dairy. So for that, you have to make dairy or animals in the very contemporary, very glamorous, very modern, very cool, with making it commercial. Second is how to increase the productivity of animals. You see, what research we need is not like research we have got in Western world. Our farmers are small, 2 or 3 animals, or even agriculture. So what new innovation, new practices we need is which is the small farmers, which is affordable, which can be done by the using the local resources and with the less educated people. Third is, you see, in animal husbandry, in India, 55% milk is produced by the buffalo. How to make buffalo milk more attractive in the foreign market and Indian because that is also going on. The fourth factor is which is very challenging is in food. I'm not talking about mainly lot of food analogs are coming. I mean, if you take in dairy, analog of butter, margarine is there, analog. I mean, most of the paneer sold by the outlets is analog, which is not exactly the paneer or analog cheese or analog ghee, vanaspati is there. So how to make, because ultimate loser is the farmer. Because consumer is buying the product thinking it is the pure product, but it is an artificial product, and farmer is not getting the good return for their buy. The other area is also I think is the feeding. See, what is required is that we have got I mean shortfall of fodder. How to improve the production of fodder where the agriculture scientists have to work. And I think my time is getting over. But lastly, I will say because you are from the agriculture, India needs lot of professional in veterinary and dairy. Always there is shortfall of veterinarian. I mean, if we want to recruit 300 veterinarians, we got 70, 80. You see, if you take any field in India education, there is supply is more than the demand. But there is one field, veterinary side, where and you see, that is impacting the productivity, that is impacting the breeding, that is impacting the improvements in feeding, and ultimately income to the farm. So veterinary is one side. Second is we want lot of technical innovation in dairy processing side, where we can come out with the processing facilities for Indian dairy. I think these are the mainly because time is less. So main challenge. But all I can say, people have realized the importance of agriculture in India, importance of food, and I think now we have to ensure how farmers get the due return from their produce, and consumers should be happy to pay more. And other most important, last year I'm telling you, like I say, India is the world's largest market. So after COVID, besides the opportunity, we have to also see how to protect Indian markets, Indian food, Indian agriculture from cheap imports. Because all these agriculture advanced countries, whether Europe, USA, US, all will be talking to government of India to ease import of food. Because time, I mean, temporarily there may be price increase in the food because of 361. Already we have seen poultry prices started increasing more. But we have to ensure that in no case food is imported, our farmers' income is impacted. But these words, I again thank you all the officials of Junagadh Agriculture University for giving this much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for being with us and talking about status of animal husbandry sector.